Hello and welcome to the incredibly influential and highly successful podcast. My name is Kael. I'm incredibly influential.
My name is Maxwell, and I'm highly successful.
Today is Tuesday, February 6th. So we haven't even waited a day after the last episode, and we're already back for more. You know what? We're here. We're ready for you. We're we're up and at 'em. We're ready to go. Uh, how was your week, Maxwell? After our conversation about hot salty nuts, how was your week? How did that impact your week?
I don't think I had any impact on my week. I don't think I even remembered what we talked about.
We yeah I remembered we titled the episode "Hot Salty Nuts" because god damn it, that was just amazing. Honestly, last week was one of our goated episodes. Like I don't know how we're gonna top that. That was a good ass episode. Yeah,
Well, we
uh,
better figure it out
we
because
better.
we're in for the long haul.
We're in it to win it. You know, we already dived right in. We didn't pack our floaties. We didn't pack our parachute. We just jumped straight out the plane. We're we're on our way down. We're at terminal velocity, and you're coming with us. So just get ready for that. But yeah, I oh shit. You know what we can talk about? This I I think we should make this our Valentine's Day special. How do you feel about that? Because
Because
this is
it's
gonna come out.
February 6th.
Well, it's February 6th now, but when it comes out, it'll be February 13th. So it's gonna be like the day before Valentine's Day. And I think it's better to like celebrate the holiday before it happens rather than after it happens, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Word.
Yes.
Okay. Um I feel like this episode is just going to be both of us talking about how neither one of us have Valentine's Day plans, even though it's a week away. Oh shit.
Yeah, so we better start planning.
We better start, honestly. High key. This is so this is turning into an advice column where you don't do what we tell you, right? We are bad examples, right? So uh oh Jesus. Sorry.
Season of love.
Yes, Season of Love. Yeah. So Valentine's is here, and I would say it's probably better to have plans by the time we're recording this, right? Like more than a week in advance, right? If you're trying to, like impress uh said person, right? So like I guess this is an announcement.
I don't know. I think you're just like conjecturing.
Maybe. All right. So I guess I have a bit of an
What you're saying
announcement.
isn't even real.
No, I think that is generally sound advice. Is if you want to go all out for someone on Valentine's Day, if you want to make, for me, all right. Again, let me do my announcement. So I've started seeing someone recently. So this will be my first Valentine's with them. So if you're like me and this is your first Valentine's with someone, it's better to go all out and sort of make plans a little bit in advance and try to impress them rather than waiting until the last minute. Don't fly by the seat of your pants. But for you, this isn't your first Valentine's Day with your lady friend. So I don't know, maybe there's like a difference there. But I mean, neither one of us has any fucking idea what we're gonna do. So maybe
Then we're in
maybe just do
agreement.
what we do. Yeah. Maybe just do what we do.
Somehow we're better at planning this every week than we are at planning Valentine's Day.
Well,
And
we
we're
don't
and we're barely doing this.
we don't plan this every. I mean, we were pretty good this week. We were pretty good this week. Like I got all the most of the assignments that I need to do done. Like everything that's due tonight has been done. Everything, like I don't have anything to do until like Thursday night. So I'm free. and I don't have to leave it's like mid-afternoon, and I've still got like an hour and a half. So this was less planned and more luck. Like we're here early this week just out of sheer luck that our timelines sort of came together. But like uh we're uh we're not usually that good at planning this either. So I have been consistently surprised that we've only ever missed 2 weeks in our entire like almost 2 years. You know, I feel like that's uh an achievement. 50 episodes in a year for 2023, the first full year of this show. We only ever missed 2 episodes. One was because we were changing hosts, and one was because
It was Christmas. Damn it.
yeah, it was Christmas, and I was sort of not in a place where I could record things. So that was again, those were the only 2 times we ever missed an episode so far. Knock on wood, of course. But I'm pretty proud of myself for that. So I think as long as you're decent at planning or adapting, at least you can figure it out. But I mean, I think I have an idea of what I'm gonna do for Valentine's. Hopefully she doesn't subscribe to the Patreon. Oh, by the way, we're starting this week. So if you didn't know already, the first part of the episode will be available for both tiers of our subscribers. So starting this week, part 1 is available for our $3 subscribers. They can listen to it as soon as it's done being edited, rather than waiting until Tuesday and just listening to the full episode at the normal time. So hopefully she I don't want to discuss my plans too much, just in case she comes in and joins that. So we might have to keep my idea hush hush, but I guess I have somewhat of an idea. But really, my advice to you guys is definitely plan this shit further in advance than I'm doing. Especially if it's your first Valentine's Day, because that's a good time to make a first impression. Is like your first the first time that you're together on their birthday, the first Valentine's Day, and your first anniversary. Those are the 3 big ones, right? You're gonna want to make a big blowout there, and like really do something sweet. What did you do for your first Valentine's Day with have we said her name on the podcast?
I didn't do anything.
You didn't do anything? You didn't get her a gift? You didn't like take her out to dinner or anything?
I stayed in my room, and I never left my room. And then people came to my room and said, "Hey, are you okay?" And I wasn't great, but that's okay. Sometimes people cannot feel okay.
That's true. I mean, I'm glad you're doing better, but yeah. That's a shitty time for it though, isn't it? Like oh, I'm feeling really terrible and awful, but it's like your special day. And like either way you're kind of screwed, right? Because like if you go and you do all those things and you're not feeling it, you might be like half-hearted and stuff. So then they're going to be like, "Hey, why are you not into this?" Right? But if you don't go, then you're not going out with them on their birthday, right? And that's kind of fucked up. So you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't.
It
So
was not a birthday though.
oh, that's what I was asking. What did you do
It was
on
Valentine's Day.
Oh, okay, on the first Valentine's Day. What did you do on the first their first birthday that you were together?
I think we went out and got food, and I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I just yeah. What?
Here like here's my advice. It doesn't have to be anything huge or extravagant or expensive, but you definitely want to show that you are like thinking about them and like, hey, this is your special day. I want to appreciate you. And just like make an effort to be appreciative and that sort of thing. And I think you're pretty good on like on their birthday, you know? Like it's not all that hard, honestly. Right? Like if you
You
found the right person, you
you
know,
make it sound so easy.
I think it should be easy. I think if you find Mr. or Mrs. or Mix, Mix, is that the non-binary? I don't know. Anywho, if you find the right person, it should be easy to like show them that you appreciate them without spending a million fucking dollars, right? Like, you know, you could pull a a Kanye West and spend like 50 kajillion dollars to get a fucking hologram of her dead father with artificial intelligence to tell her happy birthday and shit. Or you can just like get a card, get some flowers from the store, or even just pick some flowers, dude. Like if it's in like the summer or the spring, just pick some flowers, right? Like you ain't got to spend all that money. Just, you know, let them know that you're thinking about them. And if they're the right person, then that should be enough. But you always got to make that good impression on the first time. But then again, that's not an excuse for you to slouch, right? So like, you know, you do something big for this Valentine's Day, you don't want to like barely do anything on the next Valentine's Day. You want to gradually lower it to what is manageable for you every year. But also on your birthday and on, you know, on the anniversary and on Valentine's Day, they should be showing you that they appreciate you. That's I have been a vocal proponent against Valentine's Day and anniversaries before, but I do kind of get the appeal where it's just like it's a holiday where you're like mutual appreciation with your partner and just being like, hey, you know, I am there and I appreciate you. And you can do it any day, but having that whole like everybody recognizes it. I think maybe being in a relationship on this time of year has definitely softened me against it because I like being single on Valentine's Day fucking sucks. I think we can both agree with that, Max. Wouldn't you agree with that?
I don't know.
Well, you haven't been single on Valentine's Day in like 3 years, so maybe you don't remember. But like, I don't know if you're single and like looking for like something and like you're like single but not by choice on Valentine's Day, it's kind of a reminder of just like that you're not you know, having that sort of relationship with someone, and that
Yeah,
can kind of suck.
that sounds like your problem. I think the solution is to be single by choice.
Well, that's not that's not like how it works. I
I'm
mean,
sorry. Are you trying to tell me how it works?
yes. You know, if you want to be in a relationship with someone, you want to be in a relationship with someone. It's not like, you
But
know,
you can be sad and single on Valentine's Day.
yeah.
That's your choice.
I mean, what I will say is like it is kind of hard to avoid is what I'll say. Like there are benefits to not being in a relationship on Valentine's Day, you know. You don't need money to spend on your honey if you don't have a honey at all. Quoth Jack's Films, what is that, 2018? So that's a good quote. That's a good quote. You don't need to spend money on your honey if you don't got a honey. So that is there. And like, you know,
Or it's
they
from a
bump
man who probably spent too much money on his honey.
who, Jack's Films or me?
You said Jackson said it.
Yeah.
So
I
that's who I'm talking about.
I don't think he spent they did do a destination wedding, I think, and then go to the fucking Maldives for their honeymoon. So I mean, I might agree with that. But I mean, Jack's wife is like works in an office. She makes her own money. I think she can handle that. You know, she does an 8 to 5. at an office building. You know, she make her own money. But yeah, I think there's definitely some benefits to being single on Valentine's Day because, you know, candy, Valentine's and shit, that is expensive. That is expensive. And the day after, all those leftover chocolates and candy and whatever the fuck gets a huge drop in price because they got to get rid of it before Easter. So, you know, that's something, right? Like uh candy at a very reduced price. Not I'm not going to say no to that. Um but I mean, I also think they do shove it down your throat, right? Like it is hard to avoid. You basically can't go on social media like if you don't want to be reminded of the fact that you're single, you for like February 12th to February 15th, you cannot go on social media. You can't really go to restaurants. You can't really go to like even like Walmart, but like on February 15th and 16th, you're relatively clear to be like, you know, head on out, get that discount candy, and binge eat to your heart's content. But now that I am in a relationship on Valentine's Day, I do see the appeal, and I get it. And it's nice to be cutesy and corny and romantic on, you know, one day of the year, right? But you can do that on every day. But again, it's just nice, you know? Like I have mixed feelings about it, you know? Who doesn't have mixed feelings on it? Because it's not like who goes crazy for Valentine's Day every year? Whose favorite holiday is
Definitely not.
Valentine's Day?
Definitely not me.
Not I either. But I'm kind of weird because Halloween isn't my favorite holiday either.
You're kind of weird because now you're suddenly all crazy about Valentine's Day.
I'm not crazy about it, but I you know, I like it. It's
kind of
neat.
crazy to me.
It's neat. It is. I'll say when you're with the right person, it's nice. When you're with the wrong person and you feel like there's a lot of pressure to like go and do all these things for someone and you know or you feel like you're not going to get anything back, if you feel like it's just an obligation for you and like that you're not getting anything back from them, then you're doing Valentine's Day wrong and like with the wrong person. But if you're doing it right, it's fine. Like it's nice, it's neat, it's fun. But I don't think any uh I don't think like any good partner would be like, you need to spend like $1 million and take me to a fancy restaurant and all that sort of thing, right? Like as long as you're trying, the right person will see that and appreciate you. And there you go. I don't know, Max. Do you feel like Valentine's Day is a stressful time for you? Do you feel the pressure to perform?
Yeah.
That sounds very sexual. I'm sorry. I will revise my statement. Do you
Well,
feel the pressure?
You only made it sexual by saying it was.
No, you weren't you last week talking about how I said pulling out and you took it all dirty. Weren't you doing that?
Yeah, but at least I own up to when I do it.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. But like the pressure to like go all out and really give a whole bunch on Valentine's Day and like feel like you're not going to get anything back in return, you know? Do you sort of feel that sort of thing?
Why? Do you not love that person?
No. I'm just saying like do you feel the pressure to like spend and like get all these things and like take her to all these places but not feel like you're getting anything back, right? Do you feel like the pressure and like your effort outweighs the effort that you're getting back? Or
I wouldn't say so.
Exactly. So I would say that's a good sign. If you feel like you're giving the amount of effort that you're receiving, and I feel like that's true for every relationship in just about every context is if you feel like you're giving the same amount of effort that you're getting back, you know, that's a healthy relationship there. So I think that's all you can really look for. But what did you do last Valentine's Day? Just in case we want to give like ideas and inspiration to anyone who's on their last day before Valentine's Day and has no idea what they're gonna do for their partner.
Good luck.
You don't have any ideas?
Well, you know, get a small gift. Get get candy. Unless like your partner is allergic to candy. Maybe
That
don't
would be
get
a
her
shitty
candy.
existence. To be
Yeah,
like
if they can't apologize for their shitty existence.
exactly, right? Like if you're allergic to uh fucking like Skittles, man, just fucking wrap it up, bro. Skittles are delicious. Or like uh God, oh my God, if I was allergic to peanuts, I would just down an entire jar of peanut butter and just end it all, you know? God damn, that would suck. Because think about how many things you wouldn't be able to eat. Because not only do you have to worry about uh, like actual things that have peanuts in them, you know, like paydays, peanut butter, that sort of thing. You got to worry about anything that's been like packaged in a factory that also packages like peanut things, right? So anything could be contaminated, and you gotta look at every single label. That would suck. So I'm allergic to bananas, and that's my cross to bear. I have to pop two Benadryls before I even touch anything with banana in it. Um, but like, you know what? At least I'm not deathly allergic to anything, especially peanuts, because that would be awful. But yeah, I don't know. Also, I noticed you dodged my question of what did you do last year for Valentine's Day?
I think it was the same scenario. You
Were you
satisfied?
were you just stayed in your room?
I think so.
You seem like you're not a very romantic person, Maxwell. This is, I'm not surprised, I guess is what I'll say. I this feels in line with your character. But I mean, damn, I'm just kind of shocked that you're just not a Valentine. Actually, you know what? I kind of understand. And here's why. Um
Oh, please explain it to me.
I kind of understand, and I'm giving you an excuse. I'm letting you off the hook here, so you should be grateful. Um, but like normally around mid February is when the seasonal affective depression and uh like relatively just lower mood, like more negative mood, is when it's at its like most bad. Uh, Obviously, this year we have an exception because it is 51 and sunny here. I don't know what the weather is for you right now, but it is 51 and sunny here. So, and it's likely to, oh my God, on Friday it's going to be like 55, 56. Like we're having like really really good weather this winter, which is probably a bad sign. I call it good weather, but it's a really bad sign. But like normally around this time of year, the weather is so bad and it's so cloudy and dark and miserable that I totally understand just wanting to be like, fuck this, I'm gonna stay in my room, binge eat, and not get out of my pajamas. Like I totally get that. So I understand. I understand. I see where you're coming from. I don't know if that was it, but if it was, I totally understand that.
Uh, it's not really that. It's not really like that, but it's nice of you to try to assess my struggles.
I mean,
Thank you.
it is. I'm just saying, if I was to be like not feeling that sort of thing, uh, it would either be like because I was single or like just gone through like a breakup, or because the seasonal affective was hitting. Because when the seasonal affective hits, it hits. I I struggle with that in the winter months, so I get it. I need to move someplace. Once I'm done with school and I can afford to like move around the country for for work, I need to move someplace where there's no winter because fuck this shit. This is awful. I yeah, it hits really bad. So that's my plan. I don't know about you. What is your plan? What where are you gonna go when
Bro, I
you're?
don't know. Don't ask me that.
I feel like you would stay in New York. I feel like that's all you know at this point. Like having been in Manhattan for at
You think
least
that's all I you think that's all I know when you know that I've spent 20 months outside of New York with you, and that's
20,
how I met you?
20 months, yeah, and then also your time at school is not in Manhattan, but for like a large majority of your life, you've been in Manhattan, and I feel like that's you. I do hate to give New York credit for this, but New Yorkers really love their city, right? Like, Stan Lee was a New Yorker and he was like, every single one of my characters is gonna be in New York City. Cause I just fucking I love it so much. I've got a raging New York City boner. Excelsior, you know? Uh but like that's like one of the best parts about New York is fucking everybody there, like they talk shit on it all the time. It's like living in New York sucks, but like whenever somebody insults it, they'll be like, fuck you, your fucking city's trash, New York is the best city in the fucking world. you know like the people who live in New York City just fucking love it, so credit to them. So I feel like you can take the New Yorker out of New York, but you can't take the New York out of the New Yorker. Does that make sense?
Sure, why not?
So I feel like I can't see you not in New York City, even though the only times I've ever been with you have not been in New York City. So it's weird, but I don't see you outside of New York. You know, I think eventually, even if you did leave, you would come back to Manhattan. So that's my theory. Feel free to prove me wrong if you want, but that's my theory.
Well, you know, thanks for considering me a New Yorker, though you've never met me anywhere in the city.
Never, not once, not one time, but
Not a once.
not a single microsecond have I seen you in New York City. But like I know I've heard you talk about it. I've heard every other fucking New Yorker talk about it. It's all they can talk about. It a lot of people from New York make it their whole personality. You're not that bad, but a lot of people are. And I think that is that I don't think there's anyone else on earth that talks about their city more than New Yorkers, except for maybe people who live in LA. Because people who live in LA talk about their city a lot. But New Yorkers just it's their whole personality. And for ill or for good, you just can't separate them from that. Uh Especially with their driving ability, because if you've ever been to Florida during the winter, that's where all the fucking New Yorkers, all the snowbirds go, and they drive like they're still in fucking New York. So there you go.
There you
They're they're
go.
they're driving like it's the fucking Verrazano Bridge, right? Those assholes. God, New Yorkers learning how to drive challenge impossible. But yeah, I don't see you ever leaving Manhattan fully, at least.
Well, we will see.
Where would you go if you could live anywhere and money was like no object?
If money was no object, I would live in the city. Doesn't that make sense?
You would live in Manhattan?
Well, just because like the city is so expensive to live in, like
Yes,
normally.
but I'm saying like money or not, like career or not, like just to live, where would you go?
I really don't know. No
I
idea.
th- I think that is always a hard question to answer. For me, it's especially hard. I think I've talked about this before. I've said it before, and you were like, "Damn, that's dark." But I don't consider myself as having like a real hometown or whatever. Like I don't really have allegiance to any one like place because I've just moved so many damn places. But I don't know. I feel like Milwaukee, honestly. I I've always enjoyed Milwaukee a lot. I think that's a nice city to live in. They have a nice baseball team. They have a nice downtown atmosphere. Um, Food's generally pretty good in the area. Uh, yeah, people are nice. God, the Wisconsinites are really really sweet. Um, but it's just the accents are so annoying. They're so bad. Um,
I got you.
and I say this as my dad is married to a woman from Wisconsin who has that Wisconsin accent, and like I love her, she's great, but dear God, the accent is just it's so goofy. It's so goofy. It's like a fucking cartoon character. All people who have a Wisconsin accent they just sound like a fucking cartoon character, and it's hilarious. But it's just like it's funny, right? It's like there are certain things that you can't imagine someone from Wisconsin saying, right? Like you wouldn't be able to take them seriously. Say like imagine in The Godfather when it's like you come into my house and you disrespect my family on the day of my daughter's wedding, you know, like you have that. Now imagine someone from Wisconsin trying to say that. You wouldn't be able to take them seriously. It's fucking hilarious. So it's just, the accent would just be the one limiting factor because everything else is, pretty nifty. I like Wisconsin. I don't mind the Midwestern winters. Um well, I don't know about that. Wisconsin
Took
winters are pretty bad.
Immediately
But
took it back.
I'm not taking it back all the way, but I'm just saying I've seen pretty bad winters, and maybe it's because we're having a good winter this year, but that is rough. I guess my second choice would probably be like DC. I like DC. DC's a nice city. It's you. I mean, you were there relatively recently. It's cool. It's nice. It sort of broke up into like three different kind of areas, right? Because like when you go into like Maryland, you sort of got Baltimore. Baltimore's pretty close, and that sort of stretch in between DC and Baltimore is kind of nice. It's a little bougie, but like it's nice. And then you go into Virginia, and it's sort of a different atmosphere in Virginia. And then when you go into like DC proper is it's different there too. So it's just like all different sorts of things. So you never really get tired of it. As far as like DC, so I've never disliked DC. Um, uh, yeah. So I think that would be my second choice because the winters aren't too bad. Like the weather's decent relatively. The winters are mild. The summers are warm. It's not bad. But yeah, those are my two choices. Feel free to judge if you want, because Lord knows they're fucking garbage choices. But yeah, um, we should probably go to the ad break.
Okay.
All right, ad break. Don't skip it. We need the money. Goodbye. This episode is sponsored by Liquid IV, the #1 powdered hydration brand in America. We've been partnering with them all summer, and I've been using it to beat the heat through some of these particularly nasty heat waves. While it was scorching hot outside, I was staying cool and refreshed with Liquid IV and their 12 delicious flavors.
One stick of liquid IV in 16 ounces of water hydrates you twice as fast and far more efficiently than water alone, and it also contains 5 essential vitamins and 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks, without any GMOs, gluten, dairy, or soy. Liquid IV is also committed to equitable access to clean water worldwide, partnering with leading organizations to fund and foster innovative solutions with communities that protect both their water and their futures, and donating 39 million servings in 50 plus countries around the world.
Real people, real flavor, real hydrating. Get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code IIHSPodcast, all one word, at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code IIHSPodcast, again, all one word, at liquidiv.com. Thank you again to Liquid IV for partnering with us. This podcast is sponsored by Amanda Redwine, your no-nonsense talk therapist and parent coach. Serving individuals and couples in both Illinois and Florida for counseling/therapy, as well as worldwide for parent coaching. Amanda's specialty is working with teens and young adults, as well as their family systems. Amanda has extensive experience working with youth who identify on the LGBTQIA+ spectrum. She has also done couples work based on a foundation of the Gottman method. She brings a light, no-nonsense approach to treatment that is approachable and empathetic. She is unflappable and makes her clients comfortable from the very beginning. Find out more at www.amandaredwine.com. That's AMANDAREDWINE.com. Thank you again for sponsoring this episode, and back to the show. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for sticking with us. It is the same day this time. Sometimes we skip a day. Last time we skipped a day, it led to some disastrous consequences, but we're still here. Oh shit! You know what we should talk about?
What?
This is important. Grammys. The Grammys were on Sunday night. And I have some things to say about that.
Oh, well, I do not, so you have plenty. Go ahead.
Okay. So, well, this kind of leads into the Oscars, right? So, the Grammys also have a best like film score category, and Oppenheimer won that. So, do you think maybe like there's a chance that Oppenheimer is gonna win best score at the Oscars? Do you think that might be a clue, or do you think that the people who vote on the Grammys are too different from the people who vote at the Oscars to where that's not a good predictor?
I don't know. I don't think either is a good predictor of the other. That's my take.
Okay. You said Poor Things. So I want to remind everyone, my pick for best score was also Oppenheimer. But your score was your choice for best score was Poor Things. So I just want to be like, okay, I want to give you opportunity to the opportunity to change your vote. Did you like what I did there? Like halfway through, I kind of recognized that there was an opportunity for the joke.
And you did it again.
And I did it again. Do you have any opposition to that course of action?
No.
I love just refuse to engage with me. All right, that's probably the best way to do it. Okay. I also have another thing. They gave Flowers by Miley Cyrus the record of the year, and I Want to Die. That is the worst possible choice that they could have gone with, because I don't know about you, Flowers might be my least favorite song of last year. No, that's not true. I think I do hate what is it? Try That in a Small Town more. But Flowers is pretty fucking bad. Have you heard that song?
Nope.
Oh my god. What do you listen to all year? Cuz I don't usually listen to pop music, but I was sort of forced to hear Grammy or that song Flowers and like some of the Grammys music. But I just had a couple of just miscellaneous notes on here. Um but yeah, Flowers was record of the year, and I believe it was also um pop solo performance as well, which was just mind-boggling because it was awful. Yeah, it was. It was pop solo performance. Taylor Swift's Anti-Hero, What Was I Made For, Paint the Town Red, and Vampire. Well, I don't like Vampire, but I like Vampire more than I like Flowers. Flowers is like the worst song of last year, other than maybe Try That in a Small Town. Try That in a Small Town was fucking awful. That was fucking terrible.
I see.
Uh were you able to not hear did you hear about it at least? I don't know if you heard it, but did you hear about it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. It's it's basically a pro lynching song. That like I can't say anything else about that. It's just a pro lynching song. So fuck Jason Aldean, fuck Try That in a Small Town. Yeah. I
We
will
don't.
say I
We do
will
not
say
tolerate that here.
we don't. And it also just sounds like shit because Jason Aldean is a terrible performer. Who him, Luke Bryan, oh, Toby Keith died as well. Toby Keith died to last night, I think. And let me just say, if Jason Aldean were to join him, nothing of value would be lost. If he wants to, go to the hospital and breathe his last, nothing of value will have been lost. Luke Bryan, same thing. Luke Bryan didn't release anything like openly racist, but he's a moron and I hate him. And I think he brings the collective human IQ down by about like 7 points. Like the overall human average IQ is lower because Luke Bryan continues to exist. So that pisses me off. But I will say, speaking of last night, we said Toby Keith croaked last night, but in country songs, I'm really glad that Last Night by Morgan Wallen didn't win Country Song of the Year because I fucking hate that song as well. I hated a lot of songs last year. 2023 was not a good year for music. But Chris Stapleton and Dan Wilson won Best Country Song, and I like that. I fucking love Chris Stapleton. He's great. I know it's a cliche thing to say, to be like, oh, I don't listen to country music except for Chris Stapleton, but it's true. I don't, and he's great. He's fucking awesome. But, yeah. I don't know. How do you feel about Morgan Wallen? Are you familiar with the Morgan Wallen controversy?
Nope.
Okay. So, there's a bit of a timeline here. In 2020, I believe it was 2021. Hang on. I don't want to I don't want to misrepresent the story. So in 2021, yes, he was caught using the N-word on a video. And he like it was not like it's not like and like he used hard R, N-word. So not good. And he went on his big apology tour through all of 2022.
His apology tour. Like
Yes.
apologizing for that, or was it just called the apology tour?
No, like a PR campaign to like apologize for that. And
Okay,
I
so the yes,
I
it was
and
to
others
apologize.
thought he did a decent job apologizing. Like I I wanted to hold off for a while. Um he he's worked with like a couple of so this was really funny. So he worked with a couple of rappers who would like he was literally doing the "I'm not racist, I have a black friend" thing. So he was working with Lil Durk. He released a song with Lil Durk, uh, and that was sort of his like "I'm not racist, I have a black friend" thing. Um, but like most people were like, okay, he actually did a good job apologizing, because it wasn't like super hateful. He wasn't doing anything like he wasn't doing any Hitler type shit. It was just he was using a word that is bad and offensive, and he was ignorant about it. And now he's not. He's not all that ignorant, apparently. Um. So in 2023, he had a really big year this year, and one of the songs he released was called "Last Night." And anyone who listens to pop music in the year 2023 knew "Last Night" because it spent 16 consecutive weeks at the number one spot on the Billboard Hot 100. 16 weeks. Do you know how long that is, Maxwell?
That's like 4 months.
It's like 3.5 to 4 months. It's fucking ridiculous. He was on there forever, right? And that song sucks because it is.
That's the real kicker.
It's
It
yeah,
was a
exactly.
it was a hit, and it sucks.
It was a hit and it was a shit. Let's be real here. It was
A shit hit.
yes. So I'll say I haven't been the first to make this comparison. The person who I noticed made this comparison is Todd in the Shadows. Fucking love Todd in the Shadows. Go watch all of his videos are great. Todd in the Shadows is awesome. But he sort of pointed it out, and I agree with it, that Last Night is basically a Maroon 5 song. And you know how Maroon 5 has been making basically the exact same song since 2011 ish, where it's our relationship's so toxic and we fight all the time, but we're so hot and we have hot sex all the time. You know, it's that exact song over and over and over, and that has been their career since 2011. And that's basically what Last Night is. It is a country in air quotes. It's not country enough to be country. Um, it is a country song that is basically just stealing the whole Maroon 5 flow. The whole fucking flow, word for word, bar for bar. It's terrible. If Maroon 5 had released the exact same song, um, I wouldn't have been able to tell that it was a Morgan Wallen song. 100%. So, fuck Last Night. It's terrible. Fuck Maroon 5. They suck. But actually, I don't even think that was the best Morgan Wallen song that came out last year, because he actually did release a decent song, and I think that should have been Grammy nominated. It's called what is it? Man Made a Bar. I'm sure you haven't heard that song, Maxwell. You don't listen to country music, but I like that song. I think it's really good.
Well, great.
Yeah, I think the Grammys are worse than the Oscars. I'm gonna be honest with you. They're that sort of leads into my main point, which is the Grammys don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Yeah, it's so bad that they are so out of touch and their taste is so crappy. Like, at least the Oscars will have a year like what was it, 2023, where they're like, yep, we're going to give all the Oscars to this movie. It is the best movie of all time. We're also going to give it to the guy who objectively gave the best lead performance. You know, Brendan Fraser finally got his. Sorry, Fraser. Brendan Fraser finally got his fucking best male lead Oscar. God bless him. God bless Brendan Fraser. I hope he's doing good. I love that man. Do you love that man? Because I love that man.
He
I want to
is
reiterate that I
a
love that man.
treasure.
Absolute fucking treasure. I want to give him a hug. I want to give him a hug and cook him dinner and just tell him, like, hey, man, I love you, man. Because, like, I didn't even watch the Mummy movies growing up as a kid, right? So this isn't, like, childhood nostalgia. It's just he's a wholesome figure who got beat down by the man, or I guess by the woman in this instance. And, oh, no, it was also the man because, yeah, assaulted by a man, beat down by a woman in his shitty divorce, and like blacklisted from the industry. But then he finally made his fucking comeback, and I couldn't be happier for him because not only does he represent like a success story, but like it couldn't have happened to a better guy. You know, he's just a delight, and he genuinely like seems just like so grateful. Oh, you know who else is sort of like that? I watched this video recently where it was Willem Dafoe trying to guess lines from like his most iconic characters, and you can just tell Willem Dafoe like just really loves just being an actor and just has so much love for the craft. And so, weren't you saying that he kind of got shafted for Poor Things? That he should have got nominated for that?
Not directly saying that, but you know, he could have been, for his role, he did pretty good.
Yeah, I think Willem Dafoe is one of our greatest actors, and also I want to give him a hug too. But you know, Willem Dafoe just seems like he's just doing great. Like, whenever you see him, he's just like smiling and having a good time. So it's just like, I think he's in like his own little world, just having a good time, just being in whatever fucking movies he wants. You know, like he'll do a Spider-Man No Way Home, he'll do a The Lighthouse, he'll do a The Northman, right? And then he'll just be in some like indie underground shit, and just, you know what, he's just having a fucking good time. So good on him. But like, you know, the Oscars will sometimes snub someone like they did Willem Dafoe, or they'll get something really, really right. But the Grammys never get anything really fucking right. For example, here's one that I had some beef with. Wait, what the fuck? What the fuck? Okay. Here's something really annoying. They gave Coco Jones Best New Artist. And I can tell you for a fact, Coco Jones has been releasing music for over a decade now. She got started on the fucking Disney Channel back in, yeah. She was, what was it? Radio Disney's Next Big Thing in 2010, right? It has been fucking 14 years since Coco Jones was on the scene. How the fuck is she a new artist? So, fuck you, Grammys. You don't even know what the rules to your own fucking categories mean. And then also, they gave it to Victoria Monet for Best New Artist. And I like her. She had a really good song. But I think it should have been Noah Kahan, personally. I don't know if you've been keeping up with his music, Maxwell.
Probably not.
He did that Stick Season song.
Oh, I've heard that one.
Yeah. He also did a song with Post Malone. I like the version without Post Malone on it, but he did a song with Post Malone called Dial Drunk. And holy shit, that song goes hard. I think that's my song of the year. Dial Drunk is a really good song. Yeah. I think he should have won Best New Artist personally. But if Victoria Monet wins, you know, since Victoria Monet won, sure. Also, Jelly Roll, I think probably could have won for as well. Also, I brought this up for a reason for like Grammy wins that could be a hint for the Oscars. I totally missed one. What Was I Made For? Won Best Song, like just overall Best Song of the Year. So, I think it's gonna win at the Oscars. What do you think?
Maybe
They didn't even nominate I'm Just Ken, by the way. Didn't even nominate it. That's fucking bullshit for the Grammys. Fuck you. Fuck you. But Dance the Night also got nominated at the Grammys, and it didn't get nominated at the Oscars. So I'm cool with that. But yeah, What Was I Made For winning the Grammy makes sense. I guess the last thing I want to say in regards to the Grammys is I have released I guess it's kind of a statement on our Twitter account, which was just a photo of the Avatar guy saying, Jack Antonoff? No, I don't think I will. And that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say about it.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I don't think I will. Like, how do you choose that name? Right? If you have a name that... if your first name is Jack and your last name ends with off, right? Come on. You knew. Right? Like, he knows. Does he know? He knows.
Hope he knows.
If he doesn't know then fucking send that meme to him and he will know, you know? Like, somebody needs to tell him that his name sounds like a command to jack someone named Anton off. I don't know what to tell you, buddy. Like, I'm sorry. Don't shoot the messenger. I didn't name you that. And you can change your name in showbiz, right? Like, you know, nom de plume or stage name or whatever the fuck you want to call it. You can change your name, buddy. Don't why is your name Jack Antonoff, man? I don't want to Jack Antonoff. Oh God, we knew an Antoine, and I got a mental image of that, and I don't want that mental image anymore. I'm going to wash my eyes and my brain with bleach. Fuck, that was awful. That's an awful mental image. I would like to die now. That's terrible. Ah, fuck. Ugh. Oh, Jesus. Also, I had a question.
Shoot.
For you know, we are at the end of the first month of 2024. You know, it's over. It is Jover. You know, January 2024 is over. So, what do you think is the best meme of 2024 so far?
What have we got? All I know is this stupid one with Taylor Swift and her boyfriend. I don't even know her boyfriend's name. Some basketball player?
Football player. Travis Kelce.
Some basketball player?
He's not a basketball player.
I'll repeat it again. Because it's funny.
Okay. I feel like it ended a little bit before 2024, but I want to say the Moneyball Lord of the Rings crossover memes were a strong contender for the best meme of the year. Like, if they count as being part of 2024, best meme of the year. Fucking hilarious. Yeah, it's so good. It's really good. I love those memes. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just look up Moneyball Lord of the Rings and you'll have a fucking great time. If you've seen both Moneyball and Lord of the Rings. But for the very specific niche of people who have seen both of those and who love both of those, because I fucking love Moneyball and I fucking love Lord of the Rings. For that specific crossover of people, it is the funniest shit I've ever seen. It's so good.
Nice.
Oh my God. Have I shown you those?
Don't think so.
First, have you seen Moneyball?
I can't remember.
Brad Pitt, Jonah Hill.
I know, I can't remember. Like,
I feel like
maybe
you would
I did
remember
see
if
it.
you had.
Nah, but like, maybe I did and didn't remember.
I mean, but Moneyball is like the best fucking film of 2011, you know? One of the best films of the 2010s as a decade. should have won Best Picture that year. I forget what it lost to. It was really good. It's just a super well-made film. I forget. Oh, fuck, I forget what it was. Damn. It was nominated for 6 fucking Oscars. It didn't win any of them. Jesus Christ. How do you fuck that up, man? How do you fuck that up? To just not give them Best Picture. Are you fucking kidding me? That if you've seen Moneyball, you know what I'm talking about. It was perfect. It's like a perfect film. So you get it. You get it. If you've seen it and you like Lord of the Rings as well, go for it. You know, it's the best meme of the year. High key. But like, if you haven't seen it, oh, what fucking The Artist one? What the fuck was The Artist? Who the fuck was that? Who talks about this? Okay.
We do.
Okay.
We talk about it.
No one else has brought that film up in fucking, like, since it won that Oscar, right? But Moneyball is still relevant all these years later. Now, I'm not going to say that Moneyball left a more, like, a greater cultural impact, except that's exactly what I'm saying. Who the fuck cares about The Artist? I want to go back in time to the 2012 Oscars, and I'm going to make them. I'm going to rig the vote. I'm going to gather up all of the votes that were for anything other than Moneyball, and I'm going to burn them in a pit. And if anyone tries to stop me, they're going in the pit as well. Because fuck you, Moneyball is the greatest fucking film. It's in my top 5 films of the 2010s. Moneyball is a really good film. It is a really well-made film. It's a lot better, like, from a cinematography and a filmmaking perspective and, like, an editing perspective than people give it credit for. But it is fucking phenomenal, and I love it. And I'm not even biased from, like, a baseball standpoint, because I know people who don't like baseball who fucking love it. So, there you go. Go watch Moneyball if you haven't, and then also go watch Lord of the Rings if you haven't. But everyone's watched Lord of the Rings, so if you haven't watched Lord of the Rings, you were literally born yesterday. So, get to it. Fucking hurry up. The extended editions are only like 12 hours. You can do it. Yeah. But God, I fucking love Moneyball. Anywho, let's do a big red button. I'm gonna make you come up with it.
Why?
Because it's funny.
I'm not laughing.
I'm laughing. I'm laughing all the way to the bank, baby. Come on. You can come up with one. It's easy.
But, like, what would it have to do with what we've talked about today?
It doesn't have to.
All right. Let's say you are incredibly famous.
Mm-hmm.
This is so stupid. You are incredibly famous,
I am.
and your name is known worldwide.
Yes. But
it's because I don't know. It's because you were I don't have a okay, I guess you were your name is known worldwide, right? Across the world.
Yes.
And it's because you were the first person to have your legs rolled over by an electric car.
I wouldn't be the first person to have my legs run over by an electric car.
I don't fucking know what to add to this. I don't know.
I improv these like every week.
I know, which is great for me, who's terrible at improving these.
But it's not even that bad of improv. It's easy. It's
Okay.
so easy.
Um. Okay, you're known worldwide, but you're known
Yeah,
for being the biggest loser in the world. Would you press the button?
that's Jesus Christ. Do I have to do everything myself? Do I gotta do everything myself?
What do you mean? Are you gonna
I'm gonna
press the button or not?
No, I'm gonna come up with a big red button. That's
Why?
such a boring fucking question.
I don't. You fucking asked me to make one, and so I did, and it was terrible.
It
And
was
whose fault is that?
yours.
Probably mine. Yeah.
Yours. It's not even that hard. Okay, I have one. Are you ready? Get ready. You gain the ability to uh, receive the memories of all of your ancestors, but uh, in order to do so, you have to relive all of their deaths personally.
But I still live.
Yes, you still live, but you have to live through every single human ancestor's deaths. Like from the time in which we were Homo sapiens to now, every single one of their deaths you have to live through.
And I
So
get all
that's
their
like,
memories.
yeah. So that is, see, it's 2024, and the human species is about 1 to 200,000 years old. So that would be about, what is that? Uh 5,000, 50,000 deaths. I forget where the zero would go. Like, assuming a new human is born every 20 years, if it's 100,000 divided by 20, yeah, 5,000 deaths you would have to go through, but you would gain all of their memories. Would you do it? Yes or no?
I think I could take a weekend off, live through every single one of my ancestors' deaths.
Yeah, let's say it's like the last 5 minutes. Let's say it's like the last 5 minutes of everyone's lives times 5.
Yo, that's like crazy.
25,000 minutes, and then divided by 60 is 416 hours. Divided by 24. 17 days. You would have to spend 17 days reliving deaths. But, there you go. You gain all the memories of all of your ancestors, which is roughly 5,000 people. Yeah, roughly about 5,000 generations. So, I mean, you could be getting eaten by a saber-toothed tiger. Could be some of your ancestors dying in that big volcanic winter we had in a couple 100,000 years ago. Um, have I ever talked to you about this one? This is one of my favorite theories in the world. Is like, I think like somewhere in the last 150,000 years, uh, there was a big like super volcano in Indonesia, or like Indonesia, Fiji, that sort of area of the world, like Oceania, in between Asia and Australia, basically. There was a super volcano that went off there, and it is like one of the largest ones in human history, right? Like, it was so bad that like anything in that area would be completely fucked, right? But the good news is the human population was over in Africa. The bad news is the volcanic eruption was so bad that we got a volcanic winter in Africa that was so bad that the human population dropped from like, I think it went from like 20 or like at least 10,000 humans down to about 1,000. So
So I would have lived through that at least.
Depends. Maybe your ancestor was like older and like had a kid who lived, but like you died in it. You never know. But all anatomically modern humans are theoretically descended from that hypothetical group of 1,000 humans. And that's why we're so similar now. Because if we weren't, there would be like thousands more potential millions more potential like combinations for breeding, right? But all of us are descended from that same 1,000 group of people. So overall, genetically, we're very similar. But like, if that hadn't have happened, if like the human race had continued on like that, we probably would have divulged into another species by now. Like, we probably would be like 2 or 3 different species, because like speciation takes around that amount of time. So if we had like all spread out but had kept that same number, we probably would have gotten like different species in America and Asia and Australia and that sort of thing, rather than all of us being like the same species. So I think that's crazy. I think that's just interesting to think about. It's an interesting thing, but it's not funny. So maybe probably shouldn't have brought it up on this podcast, but I think it's interesting. You learn things here on this show.
It's funny to some.
Not really.
People,
I don't think it's all that funny.
Big volcano wipes out like 90% of the population.
Yeah. I need to look at the actual numbers. What is it? Genetic bottleneck theory. Toba catastrophe theory, I guess, is what it's called specifically.
It's just a theory, though.
Yes. Okay, so potentially it's saying somewhere between 3 and 10,000 people, not all the way. All right, so they don't know how many human beings there were before, and they don't know how many after. They hypothesize that it's 3 to 10,000 surviving individuals. But it was 70,000 years ago, so I was right about that. I said it was in sometime in the last 100,000 years, so I was right. But yeah, so I guess they wouldn't know how many were before, but they do know now because they're basing it on DNA evidence. All right, that makes sense. But yeah, so theoretically, somewhere between 1 and 10,000 human beings existed when there should have been a lot more. And there was a huge genetic bottleneck right there, and it happens to coincide with the eruption of Toba 70,000 years ago. So there you go. But I don't know. I think that's interesting. I think that is a is that not cool?
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, but it was like a huge like volcanic winter and shit, and it was crazy. Yeah. So volcanoes are bad. We should avoid volcanoes.
Yes.
Right?
I agree.
Is that not smart? Like,
you're such a genius.
In theory, there is a chance that the human race could avoid volcanoes by going to all the volcanoes and sort of poking them with a stick and letting out all the excess gas. In theory, that could work. But you'd have to poke them with multiple sticks at the same time. But in theory, that could work. So, you know what? Elect me as president, and I will poke the Yellowstone volcano with a stick to make sure that it doesn't blow up and kill the entire human race. So that's my campaign platform.
You'd do that for us?
I would do that for you. I would hold the stick myself. I would go there in my president suit with the little president pin, and I'll put on a hard hat, and I will hold the stick myself, and I will poke the fucking supervolcano with the stick and make it fart out all the volcanic gas so that way it won't erupt. Problem fucking solved. I'm not a geologist, but I'm a fucking genius. So that's got to work, right? That's got to count for something.
Yes.
Right?
I think
yes.
so.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna fix all the volcanoes in the world. You're welcome. You're welcome, humanity. Really, like I'll even do it for the countries that I don't like. They know who they are and they know what they did. But you know what? I'll fix it for you anyway, just because I'm a good guy. I'm a kind and generous soul. So don't fucking forget that. Okay? Don't you fucking forget that. I'm gonna do you this solid, and then you're gonna owe me. Okay? It's called reciprocity. Okay? It's called I scratch your back, you scratch mine. So I want them back scratches. Okay? There you go. Merry
There
Christmas.
you have it.
That's my gift to you. So
Man wants his back scratches.
when you see me on the ballot in 2040 is when I will be eligible. That'll be the presidential election in which I am eligible to run.
And you can bet he's running.
In 2040, when I am on the presidential ballot for the first time, I want you all to know that is my platform, and I need you all to vote for me. Okay? If you're hearing this now, I need you all to be like, okay, that's actually a really good idea, and then vote for me.
2040, please.
Exactly. And then when you elect me president, and I poke all the volcanoes with a big stick, and then we're never going to die from the stupid volcanoes, you will know who to thank, because it's me, because I did it, and I said on February 6th, 2024, that I would do that for you, and I'm going to fulfill that promise. There you go. A politician you can believe in. That's me. There you go. Merry Christmas. I think we should end this episode. This is getting off the rails.
I approve.
I want to thank Justin.
Message.
Yes. I want to thank Justin Connor for supporting us, supporting my presidential campaign. That's what your donation this month will be. So if you donate this month, I will specifically save your money and I will put it into my presidential campaign. So there you go. If you want a cool shout out like that, head on over to patreon.com and join the supporter tier, where you will get the first part of all of our episodes early, as well as a cool shout out in the description and ending section of every episode. If you want to join the $5 influential and successful tier, that means that you get the whole episode early and ad-free, so no ad break in the middle. You get all that early as soon as it's done editing, instead of having to wait till Tuesday. So definitely go do that. It's fun. It's nice. It's nifty. You also get movie commentary tracks as well. We did National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. That one's on there. We did The Rock with Scott Henson, and we did the first 4 Indiana Jones movies. So those are all up on Patreon for our $5 tier members. So go and join. It's pretty fun. We have a good time. If you want to follow us on social media, we are at IIHS Podcast, all one word, on Instagram, Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky. I don't think I've been posting on Blue Sky. I need to post more on Blue Sky. We're also at IIHS Podcast on YouTube. So if you want topic suggestions, Q&A, announcements, that sort of thing, that's where to go. Definitely go check us out. That's also where I posted that meme with the Jack Antonoff. So sometimes we put memes on there too. So definitely go check that out. You might be in for a treat. But other than that, I don't think I have anything else to say. I think that's all the calls to action. Do you have anything you'd like to add, Maxwell?
No.
Okay.
But do it. Call to action.
Also, vote for me for president in 2040. I guess vote in 2024 as well. Yeah, vote in your primaries. There was a primary today, I think, and there's going to continue to be primaries. So go vote in your primaries. There you go. Love you. Goodbye.
What?
Wait, no, hang on. We didn't do the actual outro last week, and I
You're,
don't feel like
you're
I
crapping
think
on our outro.
I think
What
we
the
need to
hell?
do our actual outro. Okay. You're right. My name is Kael. I've been incredibly influential.
And my name is Maxwell, and I've been highly successful.
Catch you guys next week.